Question 16. What is gamete? Answer. A gamete is a haploid cell that fuses with another haploid cell during fertilization in organisms that sexually reproduce. In species that produce two morphologically distinct types of gametes and in which each individual produces only one type, a female is any individual that produces the larger type of gamete called an ovum or egg, and a male produces the smaller tadpole-like type called a sperm. This is an example of anisogamy or heterogamy, the condition in which females and males produce gametes of different sizes. This is the case in humans. The human ovum has approximately 1 lakh times the volume of a single human sperm cell. In contrast, isogamy is the state of gametes from both sexes being the same size and shape, and given arbitrary designators for mating type. The name gamete was introduced by the Austrian biologist Gregor Mendel. Gametes carry half the genetic information of an individual, one ploidy of each type, and are created through meiosis. Question 17. What is forensic entomology? Answer. Forensic entomology is the scientific study of the invasion, the succession pattern of arthropods with their developmental stages of different species found on the decomposed cadavers during legal investigations. It is the application and study of insect and other arthropod biology to criminal matters. It also involves the application of the study of arthropods, including insects, arachnids, centipedes, millipedes, and crustaceans to criminal or legal cases. It is primarily associated with death investigations. However, it may also be used to detect drugs and poisons, determine the location of an incident, and find the presence and time of the infliction of wounds. Forensic entomology can be divided into 3 subfields: urban, stored product, and medico-legal/medico-criminal entomology. Question 18. What is Ordovician? Answer. The Ordovician is a geologic period and system, the second of 6 periods of the Paleozoic era. The Ordovician spans 41.2 million years from the end of the Cambrian period 485.4 million years ago Maya to the start of the Silurian period 443.8 Maya. The Ordovician, named after the Celtic tribe of the Ordovices, was defined by Charles Lapworth in 1879 to resolve a dispute between followers of Adam Sedgwick and Roderick Murchison, who were placing the same rock beds in northern Wales into the Cambrian and Silurian periods, respectively. Lapworth recognized that the fossil fauna in the disputed strata were different from those of either the Cambrian or the Silurian periods, and placed them in a period of their own. It received international sanction in 1960 when it was adopted as an official period of the Paleozoic era by the International Geological Congress. Question 19. What is gynoecium? Answer. Gynoecium is most commonly used as a collective term for the parts of a flower that produce ovules and ultimately develop into the fruit and seeds. The gynoecium is the innermost whorl of pistils in a flower and is typically surrounded by the pollen-producing reproductive organs, the stamens, collectively called the andrecium. The gynoecium is often referred to as the female portion of the flower, although rather than directly producing female gametes, the gynoecium produces megaspores, each of which develops into a female gametophyte which then produces egg cells. Question 20. What is gametophyte? Answer. A gametophyte is a stage in the life cycle of plants and algae that undergo alternation of generations. It is a haploid multicellular organism that develops from a haploid spore that has one set of chromosomes. The gametophyte is the sexual phase in the life cycle of plants and algae. It develops sex organs that produce gametes, haploid sex cells that participate in fertilization to form a diploid zygote in which each cell has 2 sets of chromosomes. Cell division of the zygote results in a new diploid multicellular organism, the second stage in the life cycle. No. 29. Question 21. What is spermatophyte? Answer. The spermatophytes, also known as phanerogams, comprise those plants that produce seeds, hence the alternative name seed plants. They are a subset of the embryophytes or land plants. The term phanerogams or phanerogamae is derived from the Greek phaneros, meaning visible, in contrast to the cryptogamae from Greek cryptos equals hidden, together with the suffix game, to marry. These terms distinguish those plants with hidden sexual organs, cryptogamae, from those with visible sexual organs, phanerogamae. Question 22. What is pollen? Answer. Pollen is a fine to coarse powdery substance substance comprising pollen grains, which are male microgametophytes of seed plants which produce male gametes, sperm cells. Pollen grains have a hard coat made of spore pollen that protects the gametophytes during the process of their movement from the stamens to the pistil of flowering plants, or from the male cone to the female cone of coniferous plants. If pollen lands on a compatible pistil or female cone, it germinates, producing a pollen tube that transfers the sperm to the ovule containing the female gametophyte. Individual pollen grains are small enough to require magnification to see detail. The study of pollen is called palynology and is highly useful in paleoecology, paleontology, archaeology, and forensics. Question 23. What is Chitinozoan? Answer: Chitinozoa are a taxon of flask-shaped, organic walled marine microfossils produced by an as yet unknown animal, common from the Ordovician to Devonian periods. The millimeter-scale organisms are abundant in almost all types of marine sediment across the globe. This wide distribution, and their rapid pace of evolution, makes them valuable biostratigraphic markers. Question 24. What is palynomorphs? Answer: Palynomorphs are broadly defined as organic walled microfossils between 5 and 500 micrometers in size. They are extracted from sedimentary rocks and sediment cause both physically, by ultrasonic treatment and wet sieving, and chemically, by chemical digestion to remove the non-organic fraction. Palynomorphs may be composed of organic material such as chitin, pseudochitin, and sporopollenin. Palynomorphs that have a taxonomy description are sometimes referred to as Palynotaxa. Question 25. What is Foraminifera? Answer: Foraminifera are members of a phylum or class of amoeboid protists characterized by streaming granular ectoplasm that, among other things, is used for catching food, and commonly by an external shell or test made of various materials and constructed in diverse forms. All but perhaps a very few are aquatic and most are marine, the majority of which live on or within the seafloor sediment, while a smaller variety are floaters in the water column at various depths. A few are known from freshwater or brackish conditions, and some soil species have been identified through molecular analysis of small subunit ribosomal DNA. Question 26. What is environmental palynology? Answer: Environmental palynology is the study of palynomorphs, identification, distribution, and abundance, concerned with determining past changes in the biota, climate, or geology, specifically surface geology. Subdivisions include quaternary palynology and archaeological palynology. Question 27. What is palynology? Answer: Palynology includes the fields of stratigraphic palynology, archaeological palynology, and environmental palynology. Palynomorphs studied are specifically fossil remains of non-extant life forms. Question 28. What is Pinophyta? Answer: The Pinophyta, also known as Coniferophyta or coniferae, or commonly as conifers, are a division of vascular land plants containing a single class, Pinopsida. They are gymnosperms, cone-bearing seed plants. All extant conifers are perennial woody plants with secondary growth. The great majority are trees, though a few are shrubs. Examples include cedars, Douglas firs, cypresses, firs, junipers, kauri, larches, pines, hemlocks, redwoods, spruces, and yews. As of 1998, the division Pinophyta was estimated to contain 8 families, 68 genera, and 629 living species. Question 29. What is corrosion? Answer: Corrosion is a mixture of organic chemical compounds that make up a portion of the organic matter in sedimentary rocks. It is insoluble in normal organic solvents because of the high molecular weight, upwards of 1000 daltons or 1000 Da. 1 Da equals 1 atomic mass unit of its component compounds. The soluble portion is known as bitumen. When heated to the right temperatures in the Earth's crust, some types of corrosion release crude oil or natural gas, collectively known as hydrocarbons, fossil fuels. When such corrosions are present in high concentration in rocks such as shale, they form possible source rocks. Shales rich in corrosions that have not been heated to a warmer temperature to release their hydrocarbons may form oiled shale deposits. Question 30. What is spore? Answer: In biology, a spore is a unit of sexual or asexual reproduction that may be adapted for dispersal and for survival, often for extended periods of lifetime in unfavorable conditions. Spores form part of the life cycles of many plants, algae, fungi and protozoa. Bacterial spores are not part of a sexual cycle but are resistant structures used for survival under unfavorable conditions. Myxozoan spores release amoeba into their hosts for parasitic infection but also reproduce within the hosts through the pairing of two nuclei within the plasmodium, which develops from the amoeba.